Okay, we are live. I'm gonna give YouTube a little bit to register that we're live. Uh, 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 uh. I am so excited.
I am too. This is
Ah,
a good
and you
episode.
look so cute.
Thank you. This is the first time I had some inches.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in the spirit of this show. Everybody got inches. I gotta get me
You're
some.
right. You're right about that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm still waiting on YouTube. It's not saying it yet. So I'm waiting.
Ooh.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Hello. How are y'all? We have two queens on the throne. Shout out to 41 Fit for that wonderful name. We have a surprise for y'all. You already got a preview from the thumbnail.
Yes.
And we have visuals today. So I'll do a couple of greetings and then we will introduce ourselves again and then we'll get started. Hey, Miss Lady One with the Virgo lips. How you doing? I see Betty Mac over there with 41 Fit, I believe. Hey, Betty Mac. My big sis Peaches and Cream, who's part of the Mod Squad, out here showing love. Hey, Pisces Life. Hey, American Born. Demi Bell. Hello. Hey, Tia P. Hey, I love to see the support. Love it. Love Baby Peaches. Hey. Okay, now see the dragon emojis. Thank you, American Born.
Yes.
I've been seeing them all over the internet today. We got to watch Queen Sheba's. She was on another property preservation property, so that was fun.
That's a lot of fun to see. I had to stay in the bushes for that one.
Oh, yeah. Understood. Do y'all see 41 Fit's hair? Can we talk about how cute she looks? Oh my God.
Shout out to, I think it's Black Velvet Hair. I'm actually going to do a video. You don't even watch. Well, Demi Bell, just come on in. Come on in the room. But yes, this hair, Black Velvet Hair, found it on Instagram. It is probably because I'm a Silver sister, so I have to make sure that it matches somewhat. So yeah.
And it's doing great, isn't it? Oh, hey, Don Don. Hey, my friend.
I love see Trendon and Chef don't think I love them. What did I say I was the other day?
Arsonist.
Wait. I'm a Don.
Oh.
Wait. What did I say?
You said you're like a Don Arson trend. You're trend Don Arson or something.
I'm team all of y'all.
Yeah. But she be windmilling for Jay though. Don't let her fool you.
Because we be seeing us arsonists.
Arsonist.
What y'all be doing? We be saying y'all be windmilling Jay.
Don's get in here.
Get on in here, y'all. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna recap this show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and we have a special treat for y'all before we go into the recap. It is our new intro. So we officially have the intro for two queens on the throne. So please sit back and I hope you enjoy it. It's not long. It's not long. So here you go. Oh, that is the slides. Hold on. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Dracarys.
Hey,
I hope y'all like it. That is from the production of Mr. Trending.
Oh, can you roll that one more time?
Let's run it back one more time. This is the first time we all get to enjoy it. Hold on. Here we go. One more time. Dracarys. Yes. Okay.
Bounce into that thing.
Yes. Okay. Great feedback. Thank you. It's
Shout
Jay
out
the Dragon.
to
Rawr,
okay. Rawr.
Okay. So let's go. Let's go. My sweet sis 41 fit. If you want to start us off and we will have our discussion as we go, I am ready.
Absolutely. So again, shout out to everybody that's here. We got Chef Don Don. We'll definitely get into the show, but please, please, please make sure that you go to his website. I meant to have this up.
What you got?
I was going to bring up Chef Don Don's his website, but make sure you check out Chef Don Don. Any mods, if you have his website, he has a brunch coming up August the 11th. Make sure that you buy up all of his tickets. You're going to be fed well. You're going to be loved on, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some great entertainment, great conversations and stuff like that. So make sure that you support Chef Don Don on August the 11th.
We gotta get that added into our gallery. I agree. Denim and white. I'm ready. Or the white is denim and white and denim. But either way,
But yes, make sure that y'all support the chef. We love him over here, and we want to make sure that y'all, show the same love towards him. So, House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 3. We already on Episode 3. Actually, 4 is coming on this evening, right? So we want to make sure that we get it on the road because folk gonna be wanting to watch it in less than an hour. Right? So, episode 3 opens on an old feud. A group of Brackens and a group of Blackwoods argue over the border of their lands. I mean, they've been fighting for over like thousands of years over the same little piece of rocks, right? Like rocks that move inches or, sometimes, feet. But they've been arguing over this small piece of land. One side has committed to Rhaenyra's cause, the other Aegon's. It seems likely that the only reason they're supporting different sides is out of spite. Aren't we like that sometimes? We don't like a person, so listen. Well, we can see that on Love and Marriage Huntsville. But I mean, that being said, how many times do we fight over frivolous stuff and take a person's side because we just don't like them, right? So we can kind of learn from this. Unfortunately, hotter heads prevail when it comes to a kingdom on the precipice of war. Even if no bloodshed is as appalling to the gods as the kin slaying kin. So remember, they were talking about how God isn't pleased when we, one another, especially the gods that they serve. So this petty squabble ends with words and shoving. One man draws his sword. Remember, he just became a knight. Then the scene cuts to sometime later and the same field littered with corpses of both houses as far as the eye can see. So if you were looking at the actual scene, the fields were littered with people. You can see the windmill spinning. It's on fire. All manner of things. The countryside is slick with blood and wreckage. The old windmill has seen better days for sure. So this is the first real battle of the Dance of Dragons. So it's finally taken place, albeit off screen, and it won't be the last. Trending. Weren't the Brackens and the Blackwoods still fighting in the Game of Thrones days as well?
They were. Shout out to Cece. And y'all do have to, Cece, it's not on you. You edit your words because YouTube does care. I saw it cared on the last one, so y'all edit them crazy words. But yes, they were still fighting in Game of Thrones. As Cece was saying, the little boy that was a lord was getting picked on by someone taller, bigger, and yep, he sure got him with that sword. Right. They have had a long-standing battle, and they didn't actually even care too much about the blacks versus the greens. They already had the thing going, like Terry said, the Hatfields and McCoy from Shakespeare, from Romeo and Juliet. They already had their stuff.
Right.
So they were going to be fighting anyway. Like they were talking about the little boundary marking rocks. They were going to be fighting anyway, but it sets the tone to just fighting, endless fighting, and how some reviewers said they don't even know why they're fighting anymore. They just know they hate each other and they're fighting all the time.
Right.
And the name of the battle was named because of that meal that was spinning, called the Battle of the Burning Meal. And also just wanted to point out before we go to the next scene that the embroidery is changing. With each intro now is changing. So you have the rat catchers that were hung from Blood and Cheese episode. And then you also have the little boy Jaehaerys Targaryen's funeral procession, and you see the red going across the neck, so they have they're changing the tapestry as we go now, as the story's developing.
Yes. Finally,
yeah. That's what we love about them, like update as we go, please.
Exactly. And listen, shout out to all the folks that's watching this show. You could be anywhere, but you are here with us. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. If you are not subscribed to Trend's channel, please subscribe. Please subscribe to all the content creators that you see here. Make sure you buy up their merch. Go to Trending at some point.
Let me solo you out. Hold on. Let me solo my sis out. Shout out to the Trendy tribe.
number one trendy right here. But that being said, we can fight over that. I can fight Jay over that or something. Or Chef. Who knows? But that being said, make sure that you support your content creators here. A like is free. All right, so go ahead and like this video and share it, right? A lot of good stuff. Listen, we even got Mr. Trending on here making stuff. So let's make it fun.
Good. Hard work goes in. Hey, thank you, Yvonne. I think she subscribed to your channel. 41 Fish says subscribe. Huge fan of House of the Dragon.
Appreciate it. You'll see a lot of changes. I've already changed my banner. So it's not necessarily going to be a lifestyle channel, but just a lot of fun things and self-care. All right.
I love it. Yes. Please support this. If you one of the sweetest people you will ever support. So please do.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. So YouTube channel AltX mentioned that the windmill being a sign of the cycle of war and infighting. Do you kind of see it that way as well?
Never ending. It will keep going and going. I can see it. I definitely can see that.
Absolutely. I mean, let's think about it. I mean, it would. I always gotta bring Bible references into it, but it's like the small foxes that spoil the vine. Like it's just little itty bitty things that will just spark the next chain reaction for things to come. You know what I mean? Exactly. So we got to be careful. A lady, once a very wise lady, told me one time, you gotta pick which hill you want to on, right? You know what I mean? So is a couple rocks worth it, right? Anyway. And cooler heads always prevail. So, and you mentioned one of my questions was, did anyone notice a change in the tapestry in the opening credits? And you mentioned them. You got
okay.
Got young Jaehaerys here. Procession. Hello, sound checking it. How are you, dear? Hello, Healed 75. All right, so we're going to move along to the next scene. In the next scene, we are brought to Harrenhal. And a haunted and cursed castle in central Westeros.
Okay, I'm gonna skip around because I think Harrenhal may come a little bit later for us.
Does it come a little later? Okay.
Yeah, it comes later for us. But we'll come back. Just remind me to go back to the other ones just in case.
Will do. And sorry, mine is a little out of sequence, Trendon.
Yeah, you're good,
guys. So just. In this scene, we're brought to Harrenhal, so it's a haunted and cursed castle in central Westeros, where Daemon arrives at the burned down castle, right? And of Harrenhal, and so this is also where the young Rhaenyra from season 1 returns to haunt her eventual uncle husband. Right,
Uncle husband. Uncle husband.
This is our uncle husband, right? This is the uncle husband. You got to remember, we all agreed in our last recap that, he was definitely training her. He definitely took advantage of her and stuff like that. So. Always, so she says, he I guess he falls asleep, or I don't know if he dreamed or whatever it was that he was doing at this point in time, but She says in this dream, or maybe even this prophecy, she says, "Always coming and going, aren't you?" She asked him. So he's always starting fires, but he's never there to extinguish it. You know what I mean? So in this dream, he sees her as the young Rhaenyra that he always remembers, the one that he actually took advantage of, right? When you think about it, remember he was sitting on the throne. He wasn't supposed to be sitting on that throne. And he gave her that necklace, and then he always speaks in the native language, just doing different things to appeal to her as a child, right? So she asks him, and she says, "And I have to clean up afterwards." Her ghost hums to herself as she sews the young Jaehaerys' head back on.
That was wild.
That was wild, right? So back to the castle, there's holes in the roof and rain pours in everywhere. The walls are also burned from when Larys Strong offed his whole family last season, if you can remember that. So that's like the really slithery, snaky guy. That's really trying. I believe he's trying to be the next hand. If you ask me,
I thought he was trying to be the next hand too. I guess he is taking steps because but oh, you know what? Maybe not, because maybe he wants to be both. Maybe he wants to be Master of Whispers and move into the hand, because he do seem like he wants something else that he doesn't quite have yet.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to play his position. He's definitely whispering in quite a few people's ears. Now, fun fact: Harrenhal actually belongs to Larys Strong, right?
Right, he's the Lord of Harrenhal right now because he offed his brother and father.
Right. So he took out his whole family so that could be his. Well, not his whole family, because
the ones in the lines of succession, he took them.
Right. He took them all out so that it belongs to him. And so it's kind of like staying at Dad's terrible motel room after he and Mom divorced, right? It's like coming back to like this terrible.
It is pretty bad.
It's like, I don't want to be here, right? So Simon Strong, who's Larys's great uncle, is the only member of the family who remains at Harrenhal. He tells Daemon that he cares little for politics, very much like our sweet Trendon and myself. We don't want to hear about it. We want to on our own time. This is politics free, okay, baby. Surrendering the castle to him over supper. So he's pretty much giving tribute to Daemon, saying that, no, we're going to be Team Black, right? I don't care about the politics. I just like my steak rare.
Yeah.
I like my vegetables crisp.
Right.
That's what Simon Strong was saying at that point in time. And he knows that a couple small houses in the Riverlands, named Blackwoods and Bracken, just offed each other in a big battle, and he can't remember which house fights for Rhaenyra and which for King Aegon. We meet some of the youngsters from either side in the episode's opener, which we just talked about, and you can tell who's who because they wear each other's colors, no matter the outfit. So you're always going to see folks wearing either green or the black. My question to you, Trendon, in the chat is: how important is self-awareness
for Daemon?
Like, just for people as a whole, right? Like, how much destruction can you do or have a hand in before you know that is you, right? Do you believe Daemon, with the help of the mystical weirwood tree he woke up upon, is facing the man in the mirror? So is there a possibility of change in Daemon? So as a little bit of a background with weirwood, it's like this mystical wood that has certain powers connected to their
gods and their ancestors, possibly.
Yeah. So, and like wasn't there some up in the north as well?
Yeah. Braid. What was? Oh gosh, the one where his eyes would change when he touched the tree. They're saying he could see through the trees, like the visions from the trees, and the trees have those weird faces on them, in the bark and stuff like that. But yeah.
Jaime Lannister used to sleep on a piece of that wood as well, and he would have crazy dreams or something like that. From what I understand. So
yes, the Raven. That's true. He's called the Raven? Okay. I was trying to remember his Stark name too. I couldn't remember because he was a Stark.
Yes.
The one that eventually became the Raven.
Yeah. So I wonder how important is self-awareness in just people as a whole before we
It's
just
always important, but it always seems like the ones that can decide for others have the least self-awareness.
Yep.
So everybody else has to suffer the consequences because of their decisions. Because although they can lose, they don't mind everybody else losing on their behalf. So okay, I see. Was it Braylon?
Brandon.
I feel like there was a D in there.
Brandon.
Was it Braden? Because I feel like they don't have normal names though. So Brandon doesn't sound quite right either. Hold on, now we about to Google.
Yeah.
Bran? Was it Bran?
It was Bran, but his whole name was Bran?
Yeah, Bran Stark.
Okay, so it was just Bran. Why are we trying to put the Brandon on there?
I don't know. They not if he had a fuller name.
Bran Stark.
I'm only seeing Bran. That's how now for me, that's what jogs my memory. Bran Stark. Okay, yep, Bran.
Appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate it. This you gotta pray for this perimenopause brain sometimes because some things stick in and some things slip on out. We were all close. We in this together. But
do you mind if I want to expand on these scenes before we move away from Harrenhal?
Yeah.
So like I think Cece had put in earlier in the chat, first of all, he came to fight, wasn't no resistance for him. I'm thinking he about to encounter something in this castle. Even the trailer, I thought for some reason he had gotten into a scuffle besides just punching one person. But he lands. Oh, they say he's wearing the ancient armor too. To feel like like I'm here to make a difference type thing. And it's of the husband and the wife. He's wearing pieces of both of their armor, I believe. Of course, he lands and they say he lands on the King's Tower of if I don't write it down. Harrenhal. He lands on the King's Tower. It's the highest point. Lets the dragon roar and all this other stuff to intimidate, but there's really nobody there to honestly intimidate. They already like whatever, it's yours. So y'all see him going through the halls. There's still no one to fight except shadows. The uncle. This was actually a little bit of a comedic relief. The uncle was like, I'm good. I don't even like Clubfoot like that. He done took out my brother or my nephews and all this other stuff. And he Damon kept thinking he was trying to poison him with the venison and beans or peas, and he was like, "No, we're not trying to do that. We don't care. You're not listening to me. We do not care.
We care less." He got on full battle rattle, ready to go.
Right.
The whole lands.
Yes.
And he's sitting there with his veal.
And then with the dreaming / sleepwalking, what I saw is the theory is that at some point he was dreaming, then he woke up from the dream and was sleepwalking. So by the time he saw Alice Rivers, which was I'm calling her an Easter egg because they're saying she's possibly a multi-generational wood switch. She was honestly, they're saying she was physically there looking at him when he woke up, telling him, "You're going to die here. Like, oh, sorry, you're going to be unalived here." Like, she really was looking at him. Now, of course, Rhaenyra, that was the dream part, looking at Rhaenyra sewing the child's neck back on. Lord. And just they really are making sure we understand just how damp this place is. That's why the uncle knows that Clubfoot set up the fire, because it's not even a place that really would catch on fire, because he said it's even hard to have the hearth heated, and they're actually trying to set the hearths on fire. So that was something to note as well. So Daemon has taken over a very much damp stronghold, but they also said it's so vast that it's really hard to defend. So it's kind of like it's not defended. So it's like, in theory, it's a great stronghold, but it's really not that great of a place as a stronghold, given the disrepair. And it's not just the fire. So yeah, with us seeing, I just want to add that. And I think that was it with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly ghosts.
One thing I also wanted to point out is that the werewood roots are growing back.
Oh, you're right. Mm-hmm. Because they said they had cut the werewood trees down to build that, and then they showed some shots where the werewood's growing back in through the building. So yeah, Mm-hmm.
Crazy. So, like, some of the backstory is, and why this is important is because the I can't remember the first name of the person, but the one who built or who had Harrenhal built, he enslaved the people because it is the biggest castle in Westeros, from what I understand. It's the biggest or the largest, I should say. But the using enslaving people, using them to build this. Yeah. Oh, tonight is going to be a big episode, so we're going to try to make sure that we close out on time, right, Francis? But it's important for them to know that that wood came from the island. I think the island of Faces, which is right across the way from where
right, the trees that the dragon, that Damon's dragon was flying over, that area.
So it's like maybe it's like one of those situations where, and like going back to even the opening scene, this may even be a battle of faith. Think about it, because you have the faith of the seven, and then you have the old God's faith, and the werewood people, or you know what I mean, the trees. They come from the old way and the old religion and stuff like that. So they're actually kind of taking, yes, werewood trees, they're taking that castle back. Right. By the places and the people that
like neither of y'all is ours. Like that's what it's kind of like. It's ours.
Yeah, it's ours. We're gonna take it back. So, yep, love it.
I agree. Last thing is, apparently Alice Rivers will eventually have a relationship with Daemon and be pregnant with his child. That's at least how the story is supposed to go. So we will see.
Do y'all think that Alice Woods is like another Melisandre? Do you think that she uses the same magic to keep herself young? Because my understanding is that she's like over 400 years old.
Right. They said that. They said she's accused of bathing in the blood. Not fire like Melisandre, but yeah. And she was a wet nurse to the Strongs. So they said that technically her if she has powers, runs through Rhaenyra's sons as well, because they are sons of the Strong family. Even though they won't admit it, that's who So there's a whole thing with the connection with that too.
And the other part, one last piece. God, this show is so good. If y'all don't watch this show, y'all need to watch it. Apparently, in the book, it states that Larys, that he might use the same razzle dazzle on some mice so that he can actually continue to be the keeper of secrets, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he wants to, you know what I mean? So he uses different rodents and stuff like that within the castle so that he can hear and have eyes on everything.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was like, there's another significance of these mice besides the blood and cheese, and I couldn't remember what it was. And it must have been that the mice have ears because of Larys. Like it was something else. I remember there was something else to do with those mice besides the rat catcher type stuff. So I feel like I've heard it.
The mice. I don't like them. All right. So let's see here. So as Rhaenyra, in the scene I'm going to go to is as Rhaenyra buries Eric and Eric.
Okay.
Rhaenys offers her counsel. Soon they will not even remember what began the war in the first place, she says. Sure, Rhaenyra states that it was when they conspired to take her throne. Rhaenyra asks if it was before, when Aegon II was born. Before long, we'll be at the point where none of it will matter, she explains. I personally blame Otto for telling his young daughter to marry Viserys. She suggests trying to plead to Alicent once again before the fighting begins. And I quote, "There is no war so hateful to the gods as a war between kin," she warns, "and no war so bloody as a war between dragons." Right on cue, sea smoke flies over Dragonstone and cries out. Massaria, please forgive me, suggests that the dragon is lonely, hinting that a new rider is on the horizon. Massaria seems likely to join her council, so Rhaenyra's council. A few other significant things that happened and around this scene was Rhaenyra sends her youngest boys away with Rhaena, Daemon's daughter. and younger sister to Baela to go to Vale. Rhaena, as you may recall, is the one family member who doesn't have a dragon of her own. This makes her feel very left out of all the fun, especially the fly a dragon around patrolling for enemies fun. But along with the children, Rhaenyra sends Rhaena off with the 4 unhatched dragon eggs. This mollifies her to some degree. Please note that Rhaena was sent to mother Rhaenyra's children, just as her mother, before she passed, her mother. So Rhaenyra's mother asked her to mother her children before she lost her own life in childbirth. What are some of your thoughts regarding this scene?
I feel so bad for Rhaena. I'm hearing she will eventually get a dragon. Thank goodness, because I feel so bad for her to not have her dragon. She's been nursing that dragon egg and everything. I can understand why she feels like she's being sent off because her sister is on, is it Moondancer, I think? Baela? Is it Baela? We're going to see her in a second, but her sister gets to ride her dragon, go scout, all these things, and she's basically not only being sent away to do more like traditional duties. Then she got to go back to the place where her mom chose to not, go through that childbirth complication and all these other things. Baela, that's her sister. Baela is, okay, thank y'all. Baela is Rhaena's sister that does have a dragon. And so I feel bad. And I don't know if you're going to get to it because I do have some shots of her and her sister together as well. And Sea Smoke was Rhaenyra's first husband's dragon. So that's why Sea Smoke is also lonely because he had a rider, which was, he was a Valerian. And if you watch season 1, he's not unalived. He's just in hiding so he can be free to be himself. And so, but like 41 Fifth said, that's a foreshadowing. Sea Smoke will get a new rider that will also be one of Corlys's sons. Coming up. So that's kind of cool. He still gets to keep a Corlys son rider, really. So that's going to be cool. But yeah, and we're setting up for don't do this. I should have wrote her name if I knew I was going to forget it. But she's going to be the Master of Whispers for Rhaenyra, which she totally fits the bill. I'm happy to see it.
Yes. So my question is, so is Sea Smoke lonely, or is Mysaria and Rhaenyra lonely?
Both, I think.
Yeah.
I think they are lonely, and recognizing the lonely in Sea Smoke. I do. Yeah. Rhaenyra might have not understood at first because, is it Mysaria?
Yeah.
Mysaria, she recognized it, but I do think Rhaenyra is still lonely either way. But I think Mysaria really heard that different tone in Sea Smoke's sounds and just, oh, Sea Smoke, it's gonna be okay.
Come home. What was his son's name? I'm trying to remember.
Laenor. Yes, Laenor.
Yeah. He was fine too. He ain't my cup of tea, but he was all right to look at.
Yeah,
I'm his cup of tea.
He right. We weren't his cup of tea either. So, but he was cute though. Yeah.
And let's see here.
Oh, was that also going to include where she did have to send the children away? Because I do have that shot because there's something else that was important there. So, so here's Rhaena and Baela, right?
Twins, right?
Yes, Baela on the left, Rhaena, well, on the top left frame, that's Baela on the left, Rhaena on the right. They're seeing each other off, but she was like, don't patronize me, basically, that I don't have a dragon. Don't patronize me that I'm doing something so important. Right. Then the one of the theories is that 3 of the 4 eggs shown in the top right are 3 eggs that Daenerys will later get from Game of Thrones. But there's some speculation about if it is that, because they're saying that the eggs were laid by Dreamfire. The readers of the books are usually saying the eggs were laid by Dreamfire, which is Helena Targaryen's dragon. Whereas I think if those were to be the same eggs, they would have to been laid by Syraxes or something. Like, so there's some speculation, but since they're like the show is trying to tie Game of Thrones and House of Dragons together, it's likely that they'll end up having 3 eggs that may go to Daenerys in this fashion. So
yeah, Francois, to your point, we'll definitely talk about that later. Because it's towards the end of the episode.
Yeah, big issue.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Want to make sure. You know, I just wonder how often is sound counsel denied because of our gender or skin color. Right. You have people like Rhaenys. She would have been a solid queen. I mean, solid queen. Look at her relationship with her husband. A lot of times where, opportunity, like she's giving him sound counsel, like, okay, well, you know what I mean? She even says Rhaenyra. What about Rhaenyra? She could be, you know what I mean? She could be, lord over this area. I don't know what the proper term is for lord or lady over this area. I don't know. And he's just like, nah, she doesn't have a dragon and she doesn't know anything about boats and all this other stuff. And it's just like, it's like things like sometimes you have people that are automatically just good leaders, good communicators, whatever it is, they have that gift. But a lot of times you're looking at my face and the fact that I have, 2 little hills on my chest, and you don't think that I have the brain to actually, make sound decisions and give good counsel. So I wonder, even in our and even in the world that we live in, how misogynistic it can be, and how we
have from the time that her father gave the throne to Varys instead of her. I'm like, that to me, because he was supposed to be the peacemaker that had the longest history of a reign, because he kept peace for so many years. And then it's like you still fumbled at the end, because the Dance of the Dragons and everything is coming because of what happened a generation after this. And it's like your daughter was already there. She did have a son by then, I believe. If she didn't have she was pregnant, I think maybe. So maybe she was pregnant. But it's like you just passed her over. Let's give it to Varys. And then Varys done fell apart. He was nice, but he was literally falling apart. You know what I mean? And then it's just his will was a little weak for me. So yeah, overlooked. And now, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, sis.
I was just gonna say, and now Rhaenyra is getting overlooked by a woman, but she's getting overlooked as well because she doesn't have her dragon yet, and it's just like, I don't know, yeah, listening.
Definitely, and there's a part about Viserys where they said that if you get cut by the Iron Throne, it's a sign that you are not a good leader or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Ultimately, he got cut up a whole lot. And so did their great granddad. You know what I mean? Like he got cut up so bad because that means that you can't manage this throne. So it's just kind of a foreshadowing of what your leadership is going to be.
Right.
All right. Let's see here. And my last question is, how do you believe this move to Pentos will affect Rhaenyra?
I'm trying, because I also heard some things that are coming up. I guess, I don't know if she'll soften versus harden, because I mean, she has to go there where her mother passed. It's a lot that's on her. So maybe it'll harden her more than anything. Hopefully it'll make her a great strategist and things like that. Because I'm not sure, because they're not saying too much about her right now. It's like you have to have a dragon to be talked about or on your way. I don't know. So I don't know yet for her.
Right. I mean, she does eventually get one. Who gets this 4th one? I'm trying to remember.
The 4th one, I don't know if it hatches or the 4th egg, Rhaenyra saves that egg. And if it goes like they think it's going to go, the other 3 eggs will either sink down in the waters for a while, or it's going to find its way, like Cece said, like we talked about that. It's going to end up in Pentos, and it's going to let it later be gifted to Daenerys. That's the theory outside of the book, because apparently the eggs' descendants are different based on the show and the book on that one. So
Cece says Rhaenyra gets it.
So Rhaenyra gets the one that's gonna okay, so maybe because one thing I'll say is, with those 4 eggs traveling with the 2 blonde boys, that ship's supposed to get attacked. and that's when chaos happens, and one of the little boys gets to take off on his dragon because it's just big enough to go ahead and still let him fly on it. The other boy survives as well. So maybe somewhere in that melee, that's where Rhaenyra gets one of those 4 eggs and it finally hatches or something. I don't know, because I can see it, because she is going to get a dragon. That's what they say. So
I hope so. My heart hurts for her, for sure. Mm-hmm. No one wants to be looked over.
Right.
So Team Green, Sir Criston Cole's Kingsguard has been severely relaxed since his promotion to the hand of the severely is just an understatement, right? He descends the stairs, and Aegon II's knights are lounging around, which is reminiscent of the times of King Robert Baratheon, right? Remember, they were chill, right?
I didn't remember that. I did not even remember them chilling for the other. Okay.
They were just wild and loose with it, the whole vow thing. Vow, like, what's a vow? I mean, we got on this cool armor. We as homies, right?
Right.
They would drink, they would party all the time, and it looks like they're still doing the same thing. And remember, we know how that turns out. Please also take notice of how much the armor Aegon is wearing. It's wearing him. He's not even wearing it, right? He has this whole Valyrian, like not even his uncle. His brother? No, his uncle. Not even his uncle has that much of the Valyrian steel on. I think he only had the helmet. I'm trying to remember who had the helmet. And
Daemon, his uncle?
Daemon.
Okay.
Daemon had the helmet and the sword. But Aegon got the whole battle rattle on. He's just wearing him, right?
Okay, hold on. Let me pull up Aegon wearing. Hold on. I'm finding Aegon. Let me see here. Because this is when Clubfoot approaches him, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Might have been
a little before, so he was whispering in his ear.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, there. Is that it? This is it. Here we go. Okay, there we go. That's Aegon, in his armor. Yeah. Daemon, to me, was wearing more armor than Aegon was, in my opinion, because Daemon had the thing covering his face.
Yeah. But he wearing this to the toilet, Trendon. Like, he wearing it everywhere. He wearing it.
Gotcha. For no reason. He ain't going nowhere.
I'm king. We're gonna stay big. I'm king.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that cut too, Francois. Yes.
He looked good, but he ain't good at all, Francois.
Yeah, and I agree that they know Criston's a hypocrite. Plus, they were the ones, these two laughing in the bottom right were the ones that were drinking with Aegon the day that Blood and Cheese came to slay the prince. So, yeah, they already didn't take nothing serious, no way, as well. But nobody's taking Criston Cole seriously anymore.
No. He said Dude said Daemon looked like Megatron. He did. Like, he looked like, he really did look like Megatron. He looks silly.
Did you also notice, and I think that's his whole MO. First, Larys had to kind of slink to get to the first entrance with the first guard here. His last name is Waters, and y'all were using the term because that's what's used for this show, but Waters is apparently also a bastard child. They said the last name Waters or surname Waters is for the land he's from. That's like Jon Snow. Snow is a bastard name. Hull, like Hull is a bastard name and stuff like that. So they're saying that he is top right. He's a bastard child, but Larys had to slink to see if he can get past him. Then he makes sure he keeps a far distance from Aegon until he kind of gets this non-verbal signal. Okay, you can get a little closer to me. You can get a little closer to me, which is symbolic of becoming a master of whispers to me too. Like a little bit closer for my trust and everything.
Right.
That's how I was taking it.
Getting closer and closer to inner circle. And then Francois brings up a good point. I feel bad. Helaena did not ask to be a part of any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Alicent has asked so much of her daughter. It's ridiculous. And Helaena just has such a sweet, soft heart. It's like, I forgive you.
Mm-hmm. Do you also think, though, because this is a good point that Helaena already saw, she's a dreamer, right? But do you also think she meant literally, I forgive you because you were over there with Kristen Cole when he could have been guarding us?
I do. I think it's everything. And I think that she just, if I were her, I would want you out of my face. Quite frankly, like, I mean, you've literally drugged me and my child with his sewn up neck through the alleys.
Right.
Of King's Landing. Like, I mean, I'm hurting. Now, one thing that I noticed, and thank you for bringing that out, Francois. One thing I did notice is that I do think that she got over it a little too quickly, and maybe it's a farce. You know what I mean? Like the way she's like, I'm fine. I just want to let you know I'm fine. I don't think she's fine. Right. I don't think she's fine at all. But I think she just, I mean, she's seen so much in so much time that she just wants Mama Allison out of her face.
Yeah. And how can you put it? Like, it's like if you try to quickly process, maybe she honestly believes for now she's okay. Yeah. But if other things happen, you realize you're not okay. And I'm not okay with this. Because she sees so much beyond what's already here too. So that's why I'm wondering about to me, I take everything she says almost as truth because of her gift. Yes. So if she says it, I feel like she means it. You know, that's how I take it, just because she's so disassociated so much from a lot of things. Like, she still hurts, but I don't know. I just feel like it's her visions that make it, she's beyond what we're already looking at right now.
Besides the babies, she's probably the purest person that's on this whole this whole castle.
Probably. Yes.
I mean, she's already lost, a child, and she can see the future. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, so back to Aegon, he's definitely the definition of faking it until you make it. No one is buying what he's selling, right?
Nobody.
Right boom. You a king by name only. Moved the way a king should move, right? Mm-hmm. Also, the King's Guard is supposed to be the creme de la creme of guards. Sorry about that. Somebody was trying to call me. They're supposed to be the creme de la creme. They're supposed to be the highest standard of guards, but they are setting themselves for failure in many ways. Let's think about it. The chastity vow. You know what I mean? All the above, they busy, coking and joking with the homies. Like, you know what I mean? Later on in the scene, you're going to see them in a bar, right? Taking one of the people to get their, their purity taken away, right? Like,
right.
Like, this is not the way that they're supposed to be carrying themselves, but there needs to be a solid foundation, right? Because things fall short, just like people, laying low and spreading it wide, while children is, So that being said, so back to the meeting of not so smart minds. Sir Criston suggests that leading an army himself into the Riverlands, an area of Westeros that he calls the key to the war. Alicent thinks that Cole's plan is also dumb. But King Aegon likes it, of course, because he's war hungry, right? He wants a war, baby. He wants a war. He wants it right now, right? Steel and blood. He would even fly out himself if anyone would let him. Sorry about that. What are your thoughts? It kind of goes back to, she's actually giving some sound advice. Like, you are the king. You shouldn't be ahead of the war, right? She's you know what I mean? You shouldn't be like front and center in war, because you're the face. You have to be there to make the decisions on behalf of your country, right? What do you think about that?
I think that it is normal that kings go fight, but they usually leave a good counsel behind. But they also have to be fighters if they do that. Like, they can't be like Aegon going into battle. Because I've seen, in our actual in history, the kings will go out on the battlefield too.
Right.
Aegon is a waste of time, but I'm like, shoot, although Larys was making it up and he was saying they're just trying to send you out there so then Aemon can take over the throne. I'm like, honestly, let Aegon go, because we don't need him no way. He's useless on either way. He can
exactly.
And I did have 2 Easter eggs for this scene. One, The coin that Aemon was flipping was one of the coins he found in his room or area from the Blood and Cheese when they dropped some coins when they got paid and everything from Daemon.
Right.
So that's the one what he's flipping at the table. And Aegon is currently holding the Valyrian steel dagger, that the famous dagger, Aegon the Conqueror's dagger, and that's also the same dagger apparently Alicent was about to try to run and stab somebody with when they took Aemon's eye. You know, she was rushing towards them with the thing that was the same dagger. So yeah.
Oh, and see, he wants to be Aegon the Conqueror so bad.
Mm-hmm. He really wants to embody his name.
He does.
He's a brat. He's worse than a brat because he causes real harm. But yeah.
Let's see here. So CC says,
don't forget to edit those types.
Oh yeah, please, CC. Oh my Lord.
Okay.
Let's see here. All right. So to accompany Cole, Alicent's older brother, Sir Gawain Hightower, returns to the show from the first. Remember, the last time he was on this show was first season, first episode.
Oh,
so
wow.
For the joust, right? So he's now coming back in second season.
Wow. I'm going to have to go back. I do not even remember him from the first season.
So he was the one who they selected to do the jousting.
The jousting, yes. And Daemon swiped that horse and unhorsed him. What, right? Didn't he like trip the horse with his jousting thing or something? He did. And Aemon, and Gawain face planted basically.
Pretty much. It was a good scene, but you know.
Oh, y'all, please edit that KILLED word, please. YouTube is punishing me.
Oh my goodness, please, y'all. We might have to make sure that we say that throughout the. Oh, and shout out to Barbara Morgan. Thank you so much for your support towards the channel. More than likely, Trending at some point is going to need some of this because of some of the language that's in the chat.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate that. But yeah, just be cognizant. Just kind of be creative with your verbiage, please, everyone. Okay. Oh, thank you, Cece. So one of Aegon's buddy White Cloaks is from the Rain family. They're a vassal of the Lannisters. Okay. The family Tywin unlived, prompting the reigns of Castamere song.
Thank you, Cece. I read that, or I listened to that, not read it. Thank you for adding that in there.
Yes, thank you so very much. Let's see here. So
hold on. You might have to do you see your chat? Do you have yours open? I think that might be from your side. I'm not sure.
Oh, is this Pokemon guy?
Yeah, you might have to if you have it open.
Yeah, let me see. All right. Anyway, you get the weirdos in there. But that being said, so Gawain Hightower is there. He's a little upset that his father lost his hand position to Cole, but he remains loyal to the king. He says, "May the seven guide you." And tells Cole with a sigh. Forgive me, she said that. She seems angry that her new lover is going to war against the dragons, a battle that a human is likely not capable of surviving. And as Trending has here, she has the visuals of her giving, I guess, a token over to Kristen Cole.
I want to call him Christian all the time. I keep wanting to say Christian Cole.
Maybe I just want him to have some Christian values instead of boinking, boinking Allison all the time. No, I can't call it, but just keep his pants to himself and whatnot. Maybe some babies will be, alive right now. But that being said, but he peeps the little pass off like, oh, maybe there's a little bit more to this relationship. What are your thoughts?
Let's acknowledge Francois' comment about this haircut from Kristen. I do, because I don't like his character, it ain't helping him for me, but definitely it is so noticeable that he did it. I wonder, I know there's always archetypes for something, so I wonder what it is to go from longer hair to shorter hair. Like, what's that archetype meaning? Because I didn't think to look it up at the time. Probably some other form of innocence, some other form of something he's also going to go ahead and shed away as well, because that's like more the youthful thing, I guess, with the longer hair a lot of times.
Yes.
One thing that was pointed out was that Kristen asking for Alicent's favor was because at that jousting where Gwen was there, Damon asked, or Kristen asked for Rhaenyra's favor at that tournament. So now it's like he's trying to make up for that and asking her for her favor this time too. So I was like, that's interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Because he purposely chose him to be a slight at Otto, because Otto and Damon, they can't stand each other. That's why he was selected. They can't stand each other. And that was one of the main reasons why they wanted, why Otto did not want Damon, because Damon would have, I think, been one of the next in line, for the throne.
Okay.
The Eric and Eric twins like their burial scene because the dirt was made of chocolate cake and Oreos. That is too funny. Oh,
that is a fun fact, CC. And also, I know we're gonna get to it, but yes, Francois, I think Gwen seems a bit of a coward. I do agree with you on that one. I do.
He's a punk and he's rich. Comes from money, and because think about, I think the between the Hightowers and the Lannisters have the most money. Oh, between them and the what is the other ones that they? The
ones that lent all that money to the Lannisters, right? You talking about that family?
Talking about like the Game of Thrones days?
Yeah.
Not
them.
No, there's another group that look like that have the golden hair, but they don't ride the dragons. I can't remember. They don't ride dragons. They prefer boats. I cannot think, but their names.
Valyrians?
I think it's the Valyrians.
They have silver hair though.
They have silver hair, right? But like they have a lot of money too. But like
I know y'all, somebody gonna tell us, because I'm sure trying to think who has the blonde hair but doesn't ride, and it's not the Lannisters, and they don't ride dragons.
Yeah, they don't ride dragons, but they intermix. They intermix a lot with their name escapes me right now. I'm so sorry, y'all. So sorry. It'll come back to me. I promise. It'll come back to me. But yeah, he's a rich kid. He's a pest. He doesn't want to do anything. If anything, he wants to see it. He wants to see the fight, but he doesn't want to participate in it. And to me, that makes him dead weight.
When he didn't want to camp out because of the hard ground versus soft ground, I was like, he's a problem. There's going to be a lot of hard ground.
And because of that, they both experienced their first taste of human versus dragon warfare, because Baela came scooped in.
let me find Baela, because Baela has to have her time. Hold on. I loved it. I was like, come on, Baela. Oh, here we go.
Moondancer.
First, it's when he notices the sunlight's getting blocked out a little bit, like, why is the light changing? And here come Baela on Moondancer.
Oh my goodness.
And his tune changed fast after that.
Yes, it did. It changed real quick.
Let's look at his face after. Look, here we go. There's a different tune. Make haste.
You gotta keep your head on a swivel when you're dealing with these dragons, okay? So definitely, yeah, the Valyrians are who come to mind. Yeah, good evening, love Keith.
Hey,
Valyrians, yeah, they intermix with like Rhaenyra and all them folks. Right? They kind of like brother cousins too. But Baela is that girl, Francois. But I feel bad because Rhaenyra could probably be that girl too if she was given a chance. So hopefully we'll see if Rhaenyra gets
ready. She is chomping at the bit.
ready. But I guess thankfully for Kristen and Gwen, they hide safely in the woods. So they got in the woods.
They got lucky for now. Oh, they called Kristen Cole a walking corpse or something. I said, oh, Kristen ain't making it much longer.
He not. I ain't even gonna say that. So my question to you is, should Baela have grilled Kristen and Gwen like a barbecue hot link?
she should have still just Dracarys, just go ahead and go through the trees just a little bit. I know she's supposed to be scouting, and then maybe that's why she pulled up, because she was supposed to only be scouting. Right. But I was like, you could just singe them, just give me something. Yeah, but I know she was doing what she wasn't supposed to engage yet.
Let it be like Two-Face, you know what I mean? Just give a little sizzle, just a little. Just cook them a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It'll gotta be well done. Just a little on the red side. That'd be all right. Let's see here.
So it is the Valerians. The Valerians are the richest then?
Yeah, so the Valerians, this is what I heard.
I was like, that's Baela's family. That's Corlys and Rhaenys. Yep. I was like, is it somebody else? Yeah. Okay.
They're very rich. As a matter of fact, wasn't it in the first, and somebody correct me, maybe you know, it was, I think they borrowed money. They were borrowing money from them, from Rhaenys and her husband the first season. It was something about money. Sorry, it's raining over here in Colorado. Okay, y'all. So y'all hear the thunder in the background. But yeah, I think they were borrowing money from them. So they definitely got the money. They definitely got the money. And mostly because they are traveling to different lands and getting to know different people. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's see here. So my last question regarding that scene, and we're going to kind of move it along so that, you know, we can definitely kind of end this and trending go to bed, because we know our girl, her inner lady. Do you believe that this is the end of the White Knight and damsel in distress relationship between Alicent and Kristen?
If he comes back alive, maybe not yet. If he is, because like Francois says, the big things coming for episode 4. I don't know how much longer Kristen Cole got on this fantasy land. I don't know. But if he comes back, I feel like it was going to be still some tension, and it was still going to be some things happening between them. That's what I feel right now, just looking at them. Because even though she was like frustrated with him, I mean, she was frustrated with him last time and slapped him, and then, you know, they still did what they did. So
y'all, it is hailing out here. Do you hear that
hell?
That is hell. Lord, I hope these windows hold up. So you just gotta hear me good. So the next scene I called Aegon the Bully. Aegon the Bully.
Oh yeah, Aegon the Bully is right.
So after Larys finally convinces King Aegon II not to join them.
That's crazy. The hell is not. Hell is rude.
They are so rude. Can y'all still hear me?
I can still hear you.
This is bananas, y'all. Maybe they said Dracarys to me.
Yeah, that's basically what hell is like. Yo, that. Hopefully,
I'm gonna put myself on mute for a moment.
Okay. I was gonna say, hopefully, y'all, it only lasts maybe 2 more minutes or so, because it comes quick, but it get loud and violent real fast. So I'm pulling up the scene that 41 Fit is about to reference, Feteris, because I am Trendaris, she is Feteris, in case we didn't refresh y'all's memories about that part. But I'm looking for oh my gosh, that's one of my top scenes. I feel like I'm skipping over it on accident, so I'm gonna try to take my time. Here we go. Okay. So, well, she might be about to talk about it, because I want to talk about Off the White a little bit, who is a dragon seed apparently. Francois said it's one of the dragons visiting you. You sound like ping pong ball. Being from Texas, and then also where I'm at now, it also gets hail sometimes, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a quick break, because most of us have the same crowd. So I'm gonna tell y'all something real fast. I love that Queen Sheba is going to these property preservation places to show us what she's encountering. I don't know if it was members only, so I ain't gonna say too much, but I'll just say, and I had also talked to her about it. When I finished the class, I definitely think that it is really cool to vlog your experience on it and everything. So when I finish the class, and I'm, you know, Lord willing, going to some properties of my own, I want to vlog some of those experiences as well, or go. Okay, she said it got louder. She needs 2 more minutes, y'all. I want to go and take y'all along with me on a couple, even the growing pain stuff, just to be like, hey, this one didn't work out, or this one went well. And me and my husband are doing this together, and we're going to start small to try to get used to it and everything. Dudes, you saw it? Hey! The house it had, once you stepped inside the house, I was like, okay. It has now they were estimating how much it would take to actually get it all the way up to par again. I'm like, those numbers are crazy, but that's not what you have to worry about with property preservation as yourself. That's if you're trying to own the property, but yeah, no, it was, you could hear how her voice was echoing. It was a large space for sure. Cece said, I really like the property videos. I've told my son about Mel's class. He's interested. I'm about to start week 3 tomorrow, Cece. So I am only becoming more and more interested as it goes along. I like the structure, and I'm trying to, even once I finish the class, I have to be careful about talking about the contents of the class versus just my experience now that I've taken the class. But I just want to say I'm speaking very highly of the class. I do think it's worth it. I think it's a great investment in yourself. I'm trying to supplement, if not actually go ahead and replace one of my retirement incomes that I'm, trying to get to, Lord willing. So yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited. Yeah, and that house was scary. I was like, oh, heck no. Now that house, I don't know if I'd be in there. Like, it got too many spaces and jump scares. Okay. Did it calm down?
As much as it's going to calm down. I took a picture of it. It looks like snow.
Okay. Okay.
It's crazy. It is so crazy, y'all. But listen, we're gonna make it do what it do. Because somebody sent your carrots with some hail upon this house. And God, it don't belong to me. So after Larys finally convinces King Aegon not to join them, he goes, whoever prayed, thank you so much. I appreciate that. He goes out for a night on the town, baby. They said, listen, I ain't going to war right now. We're going to party. We're going to, do what it do. So he arrives at a bar and sits next to a new character with a Johnny Paradise vibe. He's like, he's like, hey, like, what's going on? Let's go. Let's do it. Just the fun person.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Ulf. Is it Ulf?
Ulf. It is ULF. Ulf White. Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of Alf. But anyway. Right. His name is Ulf.
Or Olaf. I was like, is it Olaf? It's Ulf.
Ulf. And but he claims that he's secretly a Targaryen. So that was the name I was thinking of before, right? So the Valerians, they intermix with the Targaryens. And he says, in quote, I'm the son of Balin, the brave, he reveals. Now I said, hold on a second, let me check my Targaryen family tree over here, right?
Right. What does that make you on your daddy's side? Who that?
Are we second cousins? Like, what are we, right?
Did you hear that sound where it was like, I know her name and everything too. She was like, oh my gosh, she goes down the family tree. It's a skit about the family tree. And I love how she does it. I'm gonna have to find her because that's what it'd be like when you try to figure out these doggone family trees.
Yeah. And it's funny because yes, Jaehaerys had a son named Balin. This guy is Daemon's, forgive me for saying this, bastard half brother. If he's truthful,
right? If he's truthful, right?
Truthful. So despite telling his buddies that Rhaenyra's son Jace Velaryon is the rightful heir to the throne, he's the first to call out for King Aegon II and to bow his head when he arrives. So pretty much he's giving tribute to Rhaenyra. So Rhaenyra, all these Ray-Rays.
All the Ray-Rays.
Ray-Rays. Got so many Ray-Rays and Aegons. It's a billion of them. But he tribute. He said, pretty much if there's a side, I'm going to take, Team Black side, right? Mm-hmm. So, but as soon as he says that, here comes Aegon II with all his battle rattle on, pretty much, 3 sheets to the wind already. So he already done had a couple before he walked up in there. Mm-hmm. So thank God he did, because he probably would have heard him loud and clear.
Right. I was like, did he hear him?
I wonder, but I don't think so, because he was real loud and proud. Like everybody, it was a hush when he said that he was going to tribute, right? So as soon as he did that, the door opened, and here comes Aegon II, right? So let's see here. He bows his head when he arrives, right? So he gives him salute, and pretty much Ulf is watching out for his own neck, as he should, because he's loud and proud. Mm-hmm. Aegon later catches Aemond with his favorite, I said, good time girly.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. The only woman he's ever slept with.
Right.
He likes her. He really likes this woman. Even though she's a good time girl, she might be even pass around girl because that's where she is. He does that, right? But
he has affection for her, yeah.
He does. He really, and I think it's a mother-son bond.
It's weird, right.
Yeah, it's because think about it. Alicent really hasn't been much of a mom to them. To be honest, I don't think. I mean, I wasn't in that castle. So,
I mean, they said she didn't comfort Aegon when he was crying by his son being unalive.
No. So, I don't really see a whole lot of comforting coming from Alicent. So I think that there's a motherly bond there that's kind of weird. That he needs to really, I don't know. I don't know if they had therapists back then, but something he needed to talk to somebody about that. But there's definitely that bond there. One thing I wanted to note is Diana. She was the young lady that was serving them. So she's the one in the bottom left. If you recall, what did Aegon do to her last season?
That's why I can't just call him a brat. He's worse. He's dangerous.
He's very, very dangerous. It's very reminiscent of, and I'll bring an LAMH thing here, how the folks there are trying to get Melody to be around the person who caused her so much pain and anguish, and you're trying to force her to be around there. Of course, because vocation, I mean, she went from one bad job to the probably even worse job, to be honest with you. But she has to face. So they were tapping her in her butt, smacking her in her butt. Or she had to pour whatever that she poured into his cup.
Yes.
He probably doesn't even remember her.
Right. He probably does not, because this would be par for the course for a person like him. And to Cece's point, yes, Alicent made her drink that moon tea. Although, remember, Clubfoot, that was one of the whispers he brought to Alicent to say Rhaenyra drank some moon tea, and Alicent thought it was because of Daemon, but that was because of Kristen Cole. It wasn't because of Daemon or anything. But yeah, and then Alicent forces her to drink the moon tea, so she doesn't have a dragon seed and all that, I'm sure. But yeah, I wonder. I don't know, but I'm just saying, since we're seeing her, do you think she would still have had a baby since they're putting her back out here?
She might have.
Oh, that just hit me.
She might have. They're very purposeful with their characters, right?
They are, right.
They just don't throw people on here. So I do wonder.
Oh, that's right. He does have them fighting in the pits. Oh, y'all right.
Oh man, and see, I forgot about that. And see, when Alicent did that burnt me up. Because she knew that she got some Ronald McNasty children. And her whole point was, I know what he did to you. Clean yourself up, drink this, and keep it pushing. Anybody could be Team Green. I'm sorry. I know Team Black isn't perfect. I don't know how anybody could be Team Green, because they out and the dragon pits are terrible. And speaking of those, Cece, I think, thank you for bringing that up, because her name escapes me. Rhaenyra's sister wife. Rhaenyra's sister wife.
You talking about her whisperer person or somebody else?
Her whisperer. What's her name again?
Oh my God, we're gonna keep doing it to me. I need to have a legend of the names.
Dude, but her
Sarah? Is it?
Huh?
Is it Masera?
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna go with that one for 100. But that being said, one of her plights is that one, I think Team Green, they actually burnt down her home. So they burned down her home. And one of the other things is that her plight, White Worm, yes, her. One of her other plights is that she wants for those pits to be shut down. Yeah, they for those pits to be shut down.
The White Worm wants the pits to be shut down?
She does.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes plenty of sense. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, one, because she used to be a slave and stuff like that, and she's just Deborah. Listen, we're gonna have to get just like we got to get a dictionary for Wander. We need a list for these characters, and we also need a list of who has which dragon. We
do now.
Yeah.
I wonder, hopefully there's a list. I know there's a video out, but I don't know if there's probably a list on Reddit or something. But just to point out, Ulf will be riding a dragon, and they said pay attention to how he switched that fast to recognize Aegon as king. Although right now he's on Rhaenyra's side, but he's gonna get a dragon.
Oh, is he gonna switch up?
I don't know if he's gonna switch up for sure. They said just pay attention.
I hope not.
But I don't think the other one will switch up though. Hugh, the one that was the blacksmith, I think he might stay loyal once he does, because he's supposed to be Dragon Seed too.
Yeah.
So I don't think he will, but Ulf might switch up.
I love that they're bringing in Dragon Seeds. So folks that don't watch the show, Dragon Seeds are the bastards, right? They're the ones that are not full. You know what I mean? They weren't properly sired by Targaryens, right? So they're calling them dragon seeds, but the reason why they have significance is because not anybody can ride a dragon. So it's going to be these halflings that's going to come into play, that's going to be able to be a huge asset to the war. Yeah,
they really will. Right. And right now, I don't know, are the Team Greens going to start gathering up enough dragon seeds? Because Rhaenyra, they seem like they for sure will. I don't know about Team Green. Maybe they will when they start catching on, but
I'll put it like this: they're going to have to. So they're top heavy. Team Green is top heavy on people,
right? They are top heavy on people, right? And because they only have 2 dragons, Aemon's dragon and Helena's dragon right now, I think is what they said.
But there's some, what is the term? The untamed ones. There's you have Sea Smoke. He doesn't have a rider right now, and I think there's maybe 1 or 2 other ones that do not have rider, which is why
you're right, dudes. It should have been obvious. My slow behind. No, hold on. I think once that happened, I was like, oh my god, that man is a Targaryen.
I was
with Jon Snow.
I'm sorry, I was too busy looking. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a military wife. My husband always be deployed. I be in here, y'all. I was too busy looking, okay?
Did he jump on that dragon? Oh my god, but did he jump on the dragon before he got with Daenerys? Because I probably should have paid attention more. Like, girl, that's family, but again, they wouldn't have cared. She didn't care when she found out he cared, but she didn't care.
I think Dany knew. I think Dany knew, but the way those Targaryens are and the way that her brother treated her prior to his passing, it's very interesting, unaliving.
Was why did he that? And that's funny because he did. I guess he didn't have enough of it. Because I'm like, why did he get burned up, but she doesn't? Is she more special? Because Baela and Rhaenyra's mom also still got burned up, although she could ride a dragon. So I'm like, can only some not be burned by fire? Because Daenerys, you know what I mean? She didn't get burned by fire.
I was wondering why something happened. I got to look into that. I'm gonna jot that down as a question. And Love Key, I wonder the same. Yeah, Dany did understand the Targaryen ways, and she knew that a lot of them did a lot of inbreeding, and that's why a lot of their children don't survive or they come out deformed, because they also have that dragon blood deep down on the inside of them, and that dragon
blood might deform them.
Because they're like, they literally, from what they say, have actual dragon blood, and that's the reason why they're able to ride these dragons. I love how they're bringing in the dragon seeds, right? And showing some love to the bastards, unfortunately. All right, so in this last scene, And, of course, Trending can fill in here. As a last resort, Rhaenyra asked Massaria to help her sneak into the big church in King's Landing so that she may speak with Alicent. Dressing as a nun or whatever they would call it.
Septa. I had to look it up. I ain't just know that, but it's a septa.
Almost. So as a scepter, she's escorted in as easily as Sir Eric broke into the bedroom and dragging stuff. I was thinking she was going to get caught. I really, really did. So, but she just found her way all up in there so easily. Like, and she has a very recognizable face, even in garb. So,
like White Worm said, though, make yourself unattractive, cover yourself up. Ain't nobody looking for you. Anybody, which is funny because all she did, she didn't really make herself unattractive. She just covered up her figure.
She's a beautiful woman, just like naturally. You know what I mean? In that sense. But she was able to sneak up on into the church, and so, because for the most part, Rhaenyra, she just wants to avert war. She does not want for like these kids. I mean, she's lost a son. You know what I mean? Alicent has lost a grandchild. I mean, so many lives. I mean, let's think about the initial scene when we came into. You got folks using this to be able to start a new fight between each other and the bloodbath and stuff. So. What she says is men seek blood. And this is what she tells Alicent. I know you do not want to have that desire within you, right? Okay, so she's pulling on her faith, her part of faith, right? She's a woman of God, apparently, but she'd be laying it low and spreading it wide with certain people, but I digress. Right? So she's pulling on her heartstrings and faith, right? I know you don't want that desire deep down on the inside of you. The two childhood friends trade apologies for the unaliving of each other's young, claiming that neither attack was their fault. But even as they come close to an understanding, they remain apart. If you look at the body, of course, Alicent probably scared, because again, it was the one picture, she got a knife to her.
It's a knife.
Right, it's a knife right there. Like, I'm going to use this thing, right? So she's probably scared out of her mind. Nobody would expect for this woman to slip into the scepter, right? And you know what I mean, to just have a conversation with her. But I mean, when you're desperate, you got to do what you have to do. And it doesn't even matter when Alicent learns that Viserys said Aegon the Conqueror's name instead of their son Aegon II. See, this is what happens when you name everyone the same thing. It's all these, like we were talking about before, there's a million Aegons, there's a whole bunch of nieces and Rays, and can we find some new names?
Right, because if you on your DEATH bed and you naming the name that everybody got, only the person that hopefully they didn't know, which would have been Rhaenyra, because she knew about the dream. Everybody gonna think you talking about of course she gonna think you talking to her about her son. Because his name ain't done.
It's crazy. You got Rhaenyra, secret dream. You got Rhaenyra. You got listen, well, yeah, it's like, yeah, I would say Rhaenyra because she didn't want her to yell, because I will say to Alicent, probably, you're right, Francois, she probably would have yelled. She probably would have sung songs that.
Yeah, she had to do something, because I think, she would have said something.
She would have sung loudly, right? So, for the most part, so to this scene, pretty much she just says it's too late. Alicent says it's too late, right? And to Francois' note, did you happen to star that one that he said earlier, Trending?
Which one?
The one where he says that pretty much it's her fault.
I didn't star it, but I'm looking. Let me see.
I do believe that she lied. I do believe that Alicent.
Oh, he said she was lying. Let me see.
Yeah. Well, no, it was one that was much earlier. Let me see. I'm gonna look for Francois.
That was American Born said lying. How about calling him David? These Aegons are like John Smiths out here.
But I guess the long and the short of it is, I believe it would not have mattered.
It wouldn't. She's not turning back the wheels that are in motion. I don't think it. Rhaenyra honestly thought it would make a difference to say, hey, that was actually from his dream. He was not talking about your son, Aegon.
Right.
But yeah, it's too far gone for Alicent. She don't even have no control, no way. She honestly can't do anything because ain't nobody listening to her. But I don't even think she desires to make it to where Rhaenyra would take the throne. I'm not convinced. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And to your point, I'll say this: no one's listening to her anyway. Let's go back to that scene when she was sitting at the table giving her input. They weren't listening to her. She's a woman. Her whole point in life is just to you have these children, right? So you can keep our lineage strong, so that we'll have a new heir and all this other stuff. Make sure you have a couple boys, you know what I mean, and make sure you just stay a woman. So they won't listen anyway. So I get what Rhaenys's ultimately, because it was Rhaenys that put the idea in Rhaenys's head. But the whole point is, I really do side with Alicent in that point. It's too late.
Oh, you side with Alicent? So I wish Rhaenyra could get it back, but I do think that it's out of Alicent's hands. Even if Alicent desired it, it's not happening.
Yeah, I just don't think that it doesn't matter. I mean, you already have. You got Aegon, he's war happy. You got Sir Criston, you said because Rhaenyra and her father, they're the only people. You're absolutely right, Francois. They don't know about what's supposed to happen in the North. Mm-hmm. They don't know that winter's coming. Now we know it, right? We already saw it.
Also, they don't take the dragon dreams seriously. Like Helena, I don't think they're not listening to her. I think that none of them except Rhaenyra would take Helena's dreams even seriously. Like I feel like it's just Rhaenyra. When Viserys was alive, right. That's all we got. That's all we got.
I don't even think that Daemon knows. Daemon
didn't know. That's why he about choked her again, because he didn't know about the dream.
He didn't know about it, and I think the only other person that knew about it was Bran, right?
Bran, I think. Yeah, Bran. Well, did Bran know about the dream, or did he could see certain things? You know what I mean?
I believe he could see. But this scene was so troubling for me because they were such good friends. To see the genesis of where their friendship started to where it is now, it's so sad. It's so sad. I think about her, Alicent as a friend, and then the transition to Alicent as a stepmom. And then her even being so power hungry because of what Otto was sowing the seeds of deceit that he was sowing in his daughter's ear. And then she drank the Kool-Aid, and it's just so sad to see two good friends, because of duty, that their friendship is just compromised.
Because had she not become the stepmom friend, there wouldn't be all this between them either, because she would have just been able to be her friend and not her, like, I'm trying to protect your virtue as your stepmom type energy, and it is just too much. I mean, then she had to have her heirs of her own. It was doomed. Once that happened, it was doomed.
It was definitely doomed. Well, Trendon, that is all the notes that I have for this evening. Do you have any additional insights?
I think we did a great job. I don't thank y'all in the chat for adding even more layers for us so we could have a great discussion as well, because it is needed, because we're only going to remember so much. We're taking our notes, we're doing our research, but still we can only remember so much. So it helps when the chat is adding in and participating. So I just want to say thank you, because I definitely think we covered some good ground. Episode 4. I'm gonna be late watching it, but I'll have watched it before we have our next review, though.
Absolutely.
Oh, and let me warn y'all, this is spoiler alert. Y'all just go ahead and make your peace with Rhaenys. Make your peace, okay? Just make your peace. That's all I'm gonna say.
She's my favorite character.
Get it? Just
Yeah, I'm just listening. I'm just what do?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm gonna send one up for
sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, look, put it to you this way. Almost everybody is supposed to go because it's Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. So just if you have it in your mind that you can't hold on to none of your faves, it'll be better. I say that, but I'm gonna be sad if and when if they take Baela from me, I'm out.
Yo, I feel for Corliss, yo, because I don't think they like him.
Who they? Anybody? Like anybody?
Corliss.
No, I'm saying like who do you think doesn't like Corliss though? Like
I don't think any of them do. I think they like him for his money. They like the family for his money, but they don't really they have more respect for dragons than they do for boats.
Fair.
So yeah. I think with her out of the picture, she's really the tether that kind of keeps him tied to the Targaryen family and stuff like that. Yeah, I need to read the books too, Francois. Y'all listen, between you, who else?
It was somebody else in here that's read these books. I
think Cece has read the books. I think Love Key.
Oh, Cece, I could totally see that she read. Yeah. If Cece read the book, I'm not surprised.
And I think maybe even American Born might have read the books. I'm probably going to have to get the audio books. Thank you so much, Ms. Lady. We really appreciate you. We appreciate everybody in the chat. Yeah. Another shout out to Trending at Some Point. Make sure you go to trendingatsomepoint.com.
Yes, and if you came in later, we can play it as the outro as well, because we do have a Two Queens on the Throne intro outro, y'all. So hopefully you enjoy it. We are very grateful for y'all. So grateful because this is more intimate. It's more niche. And so I just appreciate y'all being here.
Indeed. So my daughter also makes pottery, so she wanted me to show the pottery. So this is actually handmade, believe it or not.
Oh,
thank you, Sash. That's really cute. Also, it's a teapot, right? Oh, so it's actually it's still kind of soft. Sorry, it's still kind of squishy.
Oh, so it's fresh.
So it's actually fresh. So she's actually making this on the potter's wheel.
That's so cool.
So cool. But that being said, thank you all for being here. Thank you for showing both of us some love. Again, we'll see y'all next week. Same time, same channel.
Same time, same channel. Okay, y'all stay for the little outro and then we'll see y'all later. Bye. Dracarys.